Welcome to the Saturday edition of the Box Seat. I'm Adam McGrath and joined by Mark Olmos. And Mark, the Masters series might be done, but there's still plenty of good racing to look forward to.
There is indeed, Adam, especially heading towards the Perth Cup. Welcome to our viewers. Adam, a really good card here. We've got the Group 3 Scahill Stakes, and it's our turn to host the Japan Racing Association Trophy, which is race 7 later on in the card.
Yeah, really looking forward to getting into those races and hopefully finding you a couple of winners. Let's take a look at the conditions that we are going to be faced with. Another good day for racing here in the West, with the Moogle Rail out 9 metres, so it should be a perfect day for racing. Every horse getting an opportunity down the straight. Let's take a look at the first race. It is a 2-year-old event over the 1100 metres. Only 4 horses with race experience here, Mark.
Yes, these babies, juveniles, very hard to read with trial form, and as you mentioned, a couple with race experience. But we'll have a look at one of the first starters from the Darren McAuliffe yard, probably the more fancied of the two with William Pike riding. But let's have a look at it, winning that 950 metre trial at Lark Hill.
Princess, and back with it is Showy Girl. With about 300 to go, they head down the straight. The Big Show leads the way. Foxy Princess saving ground the inside. 5 Degrees the outside, and Quiet Now makes the line of 4 as 5 Degrees went up on the outside and takes the lead. Heading inside the last 100, the Big Show trying to rally, but 5 Degrees comes away in the shadows, and 5 Degrees beat the Big Show.
Yeah, she looked to have a bit of class about her, didn't she, on that occasion? Straight into that 950 trial, won on that occasion by 1.5 lengths, and then goes to race day and draws a really nice barrier in barrier 3. Now, this filly by Frost Giant, there's 2 Frost Giant gallopers in this race, so looking forward to seeing how they do as youngsters, but she just seemed to do everything right, and I don't think William Pike cast a lot of her. I think she's going to be very hard to beat from what we saw.
Yeah, there's a big watch on the Frost Giants, as you mentioned, Adam. The stablemate as well looks to have a nice chance. Art Series, you take a lead through William Pike riding 5 Degrees though, but Art Series, Jordan Turner, 1.5 kilo claim. The only worry is barrier 10.
Yeah, that looks to be the concern, doesn't it? In the trial, Brad Parnham was forced to go around them and do a lot of work, but she just continued to run on strongly. Won by a length on that occasion, actually beaten Chantilly Giant, which is in this race for Simon Miller as well. She also looked quite professional. She did everything right, and I think we'll probably want further, but they certainly look to be a nice combo from the McAuliffe team.
Before we go to the selections, Adam, we've got Chantilly Giant in there. The other Frost Giant you mentioned. Now, trialled 400 metres, then trialled over 950. Then Simon Miller decided we'll try her on with the blinkers. They sent it to another 400 metre trial with the blinkers on. Comes to race day with the blinkers. Barrier 5 looks ideal.
Yeah, well, like McAuliffe, Miller has 2 runners in this race as well. Chantilly Giant, as you mentioned, that 950 metre trial behind Art Series didn't have blinkers, and that was the big thing to note. It certainly had a little bit of improvement up its sleeve, and Peter Nucky takes a ride there. I actually preferred the other Simon Miller galloper in Lob City, Aaron Mitchell, to ride here. So just the 55.5 kilos was in that same trial as well, beaten 2 lengths, but Jake Casey sat so quiet on this galloper. So I think there's a bit upside there as well. It looks to be a good race, but I think 5 Degrees is going to be too good. From number 9, Lob City, 1 Miss Valor and 4 Art Series.
Yes, it's hard to be confident about a 2-year-old, but 5 Degrees looks mighty hard to beat. Number 6 from the 5, Chantilly Giant, 10, which is Royal Strata, and 4 Art Series.
Race number 2 at Ascot. It is over the 1600 metres. And Mark, this is a really intriguing affair here. We've got a horse that won by 4 lengths, another that's coming out of Group 2 form lines that are really impressed, another galloper winning down at Bunbury, but it was almost a maiden field with the experience that these guys have.
Yeah, not too much intrigue for me. There just looks to be a standout performer. We'll have a look at the replay of the one you mentioned, dropping down from Group 2 company, the WA Guineas, Ragazzo D'Oro.
Zaha's come off the fence, all specials gone. Whispering Brook keeps coming, and so does Ellie Kazoom with her run. Variation threading its way through. Ellie Kazoom on the outside, reached the lead, but Variation darting through. Hits the front from Ellie Kazoom. Variation doing better than the filly. Variation won the Guineas a half a length. Ellie Kazoom.
Really good performance by this galloper. We've been following it through the races, and I think I pointed out in that listed for Ether that it was just a horse to watch. It was about $51, $61 on that occasion, and attacked the line strongly to finish 5th. It backed that up with a really good performance in the Group 2 Guineas when only beaten 2 lengths by Variation. It actually drops weight now for this. It drops 1.5 kilos, carries a 55. Drawn in barrier 5, small field as well. If you're tipping something outside this, you've seen something that not many other people are going to, because like you said, it just looks too obvious to be true.
Number 2, Dragon Commander from the Fred Kersey yard. Renee Forrest rides here. Now, was very impressive at Northern, winning its maiden. Beat Sense of Power by 4 lengths on that occasion. So interesting to see how these form lines go. Sense of Power and a few others, Burger Time and the likes, all Wednesday were comfortably beaten. So look, 1 by 4 lengths, we'll get a good guide on the form lines here.
Yeah, look, well short of the on top selection, but was a nice performance on that occasion. I think you're probably looking looking at it and at the ready for that second place from what we saw in those recent runs. But for mine, the form lines are well short, so I'll just be tipping Ragazzo d'Oro from number 2, Dragon Commander, 3 at the ready, 4, Reef Keeper.
Yeah, 1 on top for me too, Adam. Ragazzo d'Oro from number 9, Quest to Venus, 2, Dragon Commander, and 3 at the ready.
Race number 3 at Ascot, it's over the 1600 metres, a 72 plus event. And Mark, I'm really looking forward to this race. We've seen these guys going around in 72 company, but it is always very hard to separate most of them. And I think you could run it 5-6 times and have 5 or different winners.
Yeah, you're probably right there, Adam. We'll go straight into the replay horse. Astronomite finally breaking through last start.
Tail homeward bound at the 300. Excellently again goes to a clear lead. Pike goes to work on Astronomite. Jazz Para comes down the outside. There's a run for pre-selection. Jazz Para, Astronomite head and head at the 100. Jazz Para on the outside, coming back Astronomite. Astronomite regains the lead. And
good performance there by Astronomite, and I'm still confused with it though from that performance. I watched the trial, watched it win a couple of times before doing this show, just trying to analyse it and see where it's going. And William Pike's comments and Bob Peters' comments just really kept standing out my voice like, we don't know why it raced better today and why it hasn't prior to that. I then look at the form lines of Meteoroid, More Aces, Jaspara, and I look at Outlaw Pete, Django, Special Delivery, Dendy, and I still think Astronomite is well short. So even though Pike is on this horse and Clinton Johnson Porter takes Special Delivery, I've actually left it out of my numbers.
And we've also got Special Delivery. The other Cerise and White runners was good in the Carbine Club, worked home nicely behind Chocolate Holic.
The 2 runs have been very good this prep. In the York Cup behind Django, makes it better in the weights here, and then also behind Chocoholic, we know those form lines have really held up with 56.5 kilos, 3rd up now in this prep over the 1600 metres. It looks very hard to beat.
What I want to quickly touch on, you might get a bit of odds about, Adam, number 7, Gloryland. Now, the last time it carried 52.5 kilos was August last year in Victoria. It ran a mighty race on that occasion. He's a very big horse, so with the postage stamp on his back, he should improve here and can certainly run a race at probably double figure odds.
I think there's 2 things to really look at when you look at this horse. You've hit the first one right on the head. The second is that there is no speed in this race. So not only is this horse very good out in front, it is going to have no pressure at all. Jake Casey, if he can just rate this perfectly, I think he can definitely skip away the couple of cheap sectionals and then be very hard to run down late. So I agree with you there, certainly some each way value. But I'm going to tip number 3, Special Delivery, from 1, Outlaw Pete, 2, Django, and 9, Push to Pass.
I'm going with the other Cerise and White runner, Astronomite, number 5 on top for me, from the 9, Push to Pass, 7, Gloryland, and 1, Outlaw Pete.
Race number 4 at Ascot, it is the Group 3 AJ Scahill Stakes over the 1400 metres. Now, Mark, when you look at a race with only 6 horses, you're probably disappointed, but I know that we feel that every runner can actually win this race.
Yeah, and trying to wrap your head around the field and how it'll be run, it's a very, very tough assignment. So a really good betting proposition here. Let's go straight into the replay. It's the Carbine Club again, but this time have a look for Chocolate Holic winning.
Testamezzo, Chocolate Holic at the 250. Venga Bus, great shot together. Showy Chloe coming down the outside. So's Chocolate Holic starting to weave its way through. It's Chocolate Holic coming at Venga Bus. Bass straight, great shot on the outside. Chocolate Holic though reaches the lead. It's Chocolate Holic. Chocolate Holic has won from...
Really good performance there by Chocoholic, attacked the line strongly. Another really good ride by Damien Oliver. There was a bit of intrigue going to that race because it was a bit disappointing over the 1800 metres, but a very good performance and beat Bass straight on that occasion, which had been racing well. Form lines around Scales of Justice, and then of course went on to run in the Group 1 Kingston Town. So they are strong enough form lines. I'd still be leaning towards Chocoholic to be better than Bass straight in this race.
Yeah, 3 weeks between runs as well for Chocolate Holic. That looks to be ideal on 1400 metres as well. Number 1, Adam, first among equals, comes back from the Winterbottom and out to 1400 metres. Hasn't won at that distance yet, but looks to be suited. I'm just worried about the lack of speed in this race for this horse to finish off.
Racing's if button maybes, but this horse could have won all 3 races this prep. Been held up badly in the first 2, and then in the Winterbottom there was a couple of decisions that, you know, if it had gone the other way or if it hadn't been bumped on this occasion, may have got the job done. Small question mark on the 1400 metres. Great opportunity for Aaron Mitchell. Can definitely win.
Number 3 there, Vega Magic. Now this galloper looks to get a nice spot from barrier 5. Will likely go forward and sit outside of the leader. Adam, I see it as a big chance.
Showed its class in the Winterbottom as well, running 7th on that occasion, only beaten 1.5 lengths. Showed that it can carry top weight against these type of gallopers as well, and should get a really nice run from barrier 5 with the lack of speed sitting outside Lusaha.
Number 4, Light in My Veins, comes out of the Railway Stakes. Wasn't disappointed by any means in that occasion. Now, For barrier 1 again, that's the only issue, but can still box seat, and if it gets clear running at the top of the straight, can be in the finish.
Yeah, I think with a small field to be able to just work off nicely, and as you said, really good performance before that, winning for over 1,400 metres in the Northerly. A good run in the Group 2 Listeria, and then just didn't have much luck in the Railway Stakes. So forgive run for me, back to the 1,400 metres is ideal.
A 6 Lusaha now gets in with a postage stamp on its back, being a 3-year-old at weight for age. 54 kilos here. I think it can lead comfortably and potentially skip away on the straight.
Yeah, as you said, leads Vega Magic sitting on the outside there, and with the lightweight has to be considered again. Really good performance in the Lister Listeria. This is a big step up, but this horse has got a bit of class about it. But I'm going to go with number 1, First Among Equals, from 4, Lightning in My Veins, 5, Chocoholic, and 3, Vega Magic.
As I mentioned, Adam, I think Lusaha can just lead all the way here. Number 6 from the 3, Vega Magic, 5, Chocolate Holic, and 4, Lightning in My Veins.